there was a member from Belgium that was there who was a total asshole. Okay. He was saying, your Congress isn't respected by your own president. He doesn't respect you guys. You guys are basically a joke. He was telling this to our delegation. Sure. And so I was kind of sparring with the guy. And then Ilhan spoke after me. She was sitting, I think like 2 seats to my left. And Andy Ogles was there, Vern Buchanan, a few others. And she goes, and this blew me away. She goes, and she looks at the guy, she goes, you might not like what our president is doing, and you might not agree with our foreign policy, but when we're here, you will respect our president.
Ilhan Omar, apparently during a diplomatic trip in Europe, stuck her neck out to defend President Trump. Now, obviously, this is newsworthy. You don't see this kind of stuff every single day, right? Especially not one of the left's loudest voices. The one person who's constantly going on and on and on about the existential threat that Trump poses. Fascism this, fascism that. He's the most evil man to have ever walked the earth, right? That's what you hear when she's on MSNBC, but apparently when she goes to the EU, she's America first, baby. Apparently standing up for President Trump against these EU smack talkers. So listen to this story from Anna Paulina Luna. She describes an experience that she had with Ilhan Omar. Take a look.
I actually was on a delegation to the EU with the House Democracy Partnership Institute, and she was on that delegation. And there was a member from Belgium that was there who was a total asshole. Okay. He was saying, your Congress isn't respected by your own president. He doesn't respect you guys. You guys are basically a joke. He was telling this to our delegation. Sure. And so I was kind of sparring with the guy. And then Ilhan spoke after me. She was sitting, I think like 2 seats to my left. And Andy Ogles was there, Vern Buchanan, a few others. And she goes, and this blew me away. She goes, and she looks at the guy, she goes, you might not like what our president is doing, and you might not agree with our foreign policy, but when we're here, you will respect our president. She was talking about Trump.
Stop it.
And so that's why I say interesting, because like when we fight together, right, and like there's always this push and pull in politics, and politics is messy, but I didn't expect that being on a delegation with a foreign government, but she said that. And I think at that point in time, when you have that type of unified front, especially in dealing with the EU, was pleasantly surprising.
Wow. What was the follow-up afterward? Have you guys since then talked, or?
She is the co-chair of the Syrian caucus that I have, or that I'm heading up now. So, and we could talk about Syria probably separately. I don't know if we have time on the podcast, but so I think that, and then she actually joined, I think, on my bill to repeal the Patriot Act. But, there's still a lot happening in Washington, so it's not like we're always talking. But I mean, I do have conversations with people, and that's how everyone is in DC for the most part. Do we agree on a lot? No. And do I like what she said about Charlie? No. But I was surprised to hear that. So that's why I said interesting.
Do you trust her?
I don't agree with her. And politics is not about trust. It's about, and you don't ever want to make friends in politics, especially this game, because ultimately you realize that it's a very transactional field. But in that instance, I appreciated that she provided a united front to the jerk from Belgium.
Good for you for giving credit, because who was it? Sergio Gore or something like that at Charlie's memorial said, one thing about politics, it's the most transactional. The industry has a lot of transactional people, and it was talking about the fact that Charlie's a complete opposite.
Yeah, it is super transactional. That's why it's like you don't want to get a friend in Washington, you get a dog, and it's true.
Representative Ilhan Omar, a Minnesota Democrat, defended President Donald Trump during a meeting with foreign leaders, according to Representative Anna Paulina Luna, a Florida Republican. Luna's account of the exchange between Omar and an unnamed politician from Belgium represents a moment of bipartisan unity involving Omar, a staunch progressive who has in the past drawn the ire of the president. Luna discussed the interaction involving Omar during an interview on podcast last week. During a trip in which several members of Congress met with members of the European Union, she said a politician from Belgium was voicing criticisms of Trump, including that Congress is not respected by him and that they are basically a joke. Luna said she was sparring with him when Omar weighed in. Omar remains one of Congress's most vocal Trump critics, who has sparred with the president on numerous occasions. In September, Omar said she believes Trump is embarrassing on a national stage and that his previous remarks about Somalia are disgusting during an interview on ABC News. The House in September voted to table a motion that would have censured Omar over her remarks criticizing the late conservative activist Charlie Kirk, including that his legacy was filled with hate. In other remarks, she has said that her heart breaks for his wife and children and that she does not wish violence on anyone.
What I find jarring is that there are so many people willing to excuse the most reprehensible things that he said, that they agree with that they're willing to have monuments for him, that they want to create a day to honor him, and that they want to produce resolutions in the House of Congress honoring his life and legacy. It is one thing to care about his life, because obviously so many people loved him, including his children and wife. But I am not going to sit here and be judged for not wanting to honor any legacy this man has left behind. That should be in the dustbin of history, and we should hopefully move on and forget the hate that he spewed every single day.
Representative Ilhan Omar on Trump.
The president, I don't adhere to the belief that we should be furthering xenophobia in this country. This is my country. There is no his America. This is our America. We collectively live in this country, and I have as much of a right to it as he does and anyone else. So that's one. Second, let me just say this. For this president, who really was born with a silver spoon on his mouth, who wrote the backs of marginalized people to make his money, to talk to me as someone who'd survived war, lived in a refugee camp, learned English in 6 months, worked almost every single job that you could imagine, from cleaning offices to being a cashier, to working my way up to now being a member of Congress with only 2 decades of being in this country, to talk to me about real life, really tells you how demented he sounds, and how much he's really willing to go in furthering the demonization and the silencing of minority communities who understand that we have the power as people to stand up to him, to fight for the America we know we deserve, and to practice the kind of political joy that allows for all of us to participate and fight for prosperity, not for the few, but for the many.
President Donald Trump told reporters about Omar in September.
I think she's terrible. I think she should be impeached. I think she's terrible. Was she originally from Somalia? So how are they doing it? How's their government? Do they have a president? Do they have a council? Do they have anything? Do they have police? I love these people that come from a place with nothing, no anything, and then they tell us how to run our country. Now, I think if she got censured, that's great. If she got impeached, that's even better. They impeached me twice for nothing. And they impeached me knowing the Republicans are on my side, so they knew it was just, but they impeached me twice. She should be impeached, and it should happen faster. What she says is out of line. Yeah, go ahead. Anybody else?
While Omar defended Trump, she is likely to remain a vocal critic as Democrats continue to oppose the president over issues like immigration and health care.
That's all for today. Thank you. If you want global news to keep you up to date on any new developments, please subscribe our channel and forward our content with your friends on social media and email. Thank you very much for keep supporting me. Stay safe. Be blessed. Namaste.
Thank you. God bless you. and God bless America.